Hello guys, today we are going to talk about the downfall of Ian. Now, Ian made a video, I think everybody knows, called Content Deputy. I talked about it, it blew up. I appreciate all the support. And in the video, iddubz pretty much hit the, "My empathy was real, you can't attack my charity." He acted like a brain-dead 5-year-old, basically. And now, after people made fun of him for the content deputy, everything after that has completely fell down. So, at first, you have Creator Clash pretty much getting cancelled indefinitely. And this is something I think everybody saw coming. But the way it went about is so scummy. Because it wasn't Ian, it wasn't Anissa, it wasn't anybody who it should have been. It was literally the fighters. So they had to come out and say that the event that they trained for, that they put blood, sweat, and tears for, it turns out it got cancelled because Ian couldn't wait a few months to drop a hit piece on his best friend for 8 years. And then after that, we get the shocking revelation that according to Ethan, after him and Anissa went back and forth, and Ethan pretty much hit her with the, "Well, you clearly don't mean what you say about being there for your Jewish friends because you're a backstabbing loser." And pretty much she kept trying to hit him back with "Oh, well, you did so-and-so," and then she completely got beat the crap beaten out of her on Twitter. And then, after that, it got found out via Ethan that this is iddubz' first goal and that he's never dated somebody before her. Which is just icing on the cake. And usually I know a lot of people would be like, that should have been thrown out there. But Ian literally made a hit piece on his best friend. I think this is completely deserved. I don't feel bad for Ian at all. And then after that, Ian went on basically a BreadTubers live stream, a BreadTuber I can't stand because he's just a disingenuous loser, just like most of them. But Ian literally sat there, and when the guy said, he had 2 human skulls, Ian laughed about it and tried to be, "I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny because they're fake skulls." No, they're not. They're from a website that sends real skulls. And even if it was fake, that's obviously a death threat. If that happened to iddubz, do you really think iddubz would be sitting there, "I thought it was funny"? It's obviously fake, or do you think he'd be crying about it? And the thing that gets me mad about this whole situation is that iddubz is such a little loser that he's making me defend Ethan. I don't like Ethan. I know some people thought, this is your average Ethan fan. I'm not a fan of Ethan. In the slightest. I don't like the guy. I think he was better off before he started talking about politics, because he's an idiot. But you can say that about most people. So it's one of those things of Ethan just should not talk about politics at all. But iddubz does such a bad job of content cop and does such a bad job making his point that it's kind of hard not to side with Ethan. And then you got all these other people trying to get in and talk about it, like Meat Canyon. Well, he obviously doesn't know the full situation, because what he's talking about literally does not add up. I just kind of feel bad for the guy because I don't think he knew what he was talking about. I think he saw a few clips and thought he knew the whole situation. And it's sad because I like Meat Canyon, so it's I just think that's a bad call. But now that we got all that out of the way, let's talk about Hasan, Hamas, Diddy, Pikel. Okay? First of all, Hasan keeps making himself look worse. I thought after that debate he had with Ethan, well, Ethan pretty much hit him with "You're a bad character, you don't care about people, you're fake, you're a grifter." I thought after that, Hasan would be okay, well, he kind of exposed me for a lot of stuff that makes me look bad. I'm gonna back down just a little bit, but he didn't. He doubled down on pretty much everything. He even got banned for 1 day, which really shows that Twitch is very pathetic, because TikTok got banned for a long time for calling Fogan fat. Meanwhile, Hasan Pikel reacts to what the shooter that shot the 2 people from Israel. Literally, he's reacting to a killer's manifesto. And now he's trying to act like I was critical of it, bro. I was critical of it, bro. No, you won't. You weren't critical of it at all. You pretty much glazed it, okay? And then you try to act like it was a false flag. And this is what he does that really gets under my skin, is that he won't say it's a false flag. He'll imply it. He'll heavily try to present it as such. And then you have to constantly be like, this is what you meant. This is what you implied. We know what you meant. And instead of just like being honest, he has to sit there and lie and try to pull that's not what I meant, bro. You don't know what I meant, bro. What are you talking about, bro? And that's not who I am, bro. I don't know. And it's so annoying because it's every time for every situation. And this is how bad it's gotten, okay? Hasan Pikel has done so much that the ADL is now after him. Now, I personally think the ADL sometimes goes a bit too far, and I don't like a lot of the stuff they've done. Oh, I don't like everything they've done. But this is one of the things where it's like, yeah, this is what you get, okay? Like, hearing that the ADL is going after him would be in any other timeline, that would never happen. But Hasan has flew too close to the sun. He's been there for too many. He's tried to sweep it under the rug for too many terrorist groups and terrorist attacks, to the point where he can no longer do it. And now he's getting the crap beat out of him. And I think it's funny, personally. Because here's the thing. Now, they're trying to get him deplatformed. Which, okay, for anybody else, I would be like, okay, you shouldn't do that. But if it was anybody right-leaning, like, for example, Sneeko, Aiden Ross, Alex Jones, they got deplatformed. Or even if it wasn't apolitical, like Andrew Tate, okay? All of those people that got deplatformed for like half of the stuff Hasan Pikel did. But meanwhile, he's still here, and now that he's being faced with the same thing that he thought was fine when it happened to everybody else, like when it happened to anybody who he disagreed with, it was fine. Why is it an issue? You shouldn't be mad about this, bro. Bro, why are you getting on about this? They deserved it. Now that it's happening to him, all of a sudden it's, well, freedom of speech. You don't believe in freedom of speech, Hasan Pikel. You don't care about other people's freedom of speech. But we're supposed to care about you? And it's not even like this guy is like a left-leaning person and, oh, we just can't handle a different perspective. The guy has literally, he supports Hamas. He supports the Houthis. He supports the eradication of Jews. And he does it by his actions. The people who he supports and he calls freedom fighters and how he glazes them, it is clear whose side he is on. So this is not like somebody being left-leaning. This is somebody supporting terrorism and being anti-Semitic. Okay? That's just what he is. And it gets under my skin because, again, like I said before, is that he'll imply it. For example, you might be wondering if you watch his stuff, he doesn't talk about the Jewish community. Yes, he does. But he'll call them Zionist. And what he'll do is that's what he means when he says Zionist. He can try to lie his way about it all he wants, but when he says Zionist, he's talking about the Jewish community. And the guy's an absolute grifter. This guy was on Young Turks. He literally was on the Young Turks. The guy wanting it is literally his uncle. Okay, so he's media trained. He's also somebody who talks about eat the rich. He lives in a mansion. So I'm sorry that I went on a rant, but it's so annoying because iddubz literally jumped from being a cuck to now supporting somebody who supports terrorism. It's just so wild to me. But that's it. See ya.